Good morning, ladies. My name is Chaz, and welcome to the What If Ember Was in My Hero Academia. So, some of you might not know who Amber is. In this storyline, he's a custom character. So, I decided to put him in. I know is probably another Amber that I do remember from Danny Phantom, but it's a girl, but this one's a boy. So, just to clarify that up for you. So, yeah. And also, Toga in this What If had, like, that look instead of her normal classic look that she has in the anime. So, yeah. And I was, plus his parents, or actually he has a sister that, if I could find her, he has two sisters. Her and her. Yes. I'm also throwing in, like, Hill L Kill, or I think that's how to pronounce her name. So, yeah. And he has a mother there. That she cares about them. It's like two different spectrums. Like, she cares about her, like, kids. And, but her, like, father, or her husband, on the other hand, is a jerk. Not like Endeavor kind, or like he was straight up overworks her kind. So of course, the family is about the same, or they have a same company as Momo's foundation thing. Her family's business thing. But way more richer. So, yeah. So one day, when Ember was just a kid, he just wanted to play ball with his father. And his father was busy at a time. So he went and asked him about it, as he says, "No, not today, because I'm busy." As they have the underground lab. And before we go any further, it is crazy from this point on. So her father went down, and of course, he like asked, he asked, or so about what's this like, because it's not like a blues like a normal water does. It's more of like a black with looked like little planets. What is that black tar looking thing? As he says, as trying to go to it. So he says, well, son, this is the multiverse pool. I finally made a breakthrough of it. As he tried to go in a little bit closer, as he got pushed in and by his father into that black with like stars things, and it like it was, let's say he was 5 years old. As before. So, and if there's this thing, or there's this like YouTuber short stories one of you learned every anime, like you go into each anime world and learn about their. So he basically did, and it like corrupted his mind. Actually, his mind got taken away by that black and planets. See, as his body was turned into that. So, like literally, he could feel the skin turning into a planet, like all of his body. Imagine him, Ember, turn, or so, yeah, as his, when he went to school thing, he met Himigo Toga when they were just 5 years old. And they were best friends when her flare up came out of nowhere. So, yeah. So then his body, when he came back to it, he was just now 15 years. He is 15. And his body is, or his body structure thing, looks just like him. So, yeah. At 15. as he walks to UA. Because his black skin thing with like stars, he was controlled in it. Like he was trying to. So he walks, and before all that happened, the Ember, the 5-year-old, asked Toga about what is your plans, and to him go Toga. Well, as she says, well, you really did cure me from my fit, so what is yours? Well, I wanted to become a pro hero, just like All Might, and but my quirk, the literal weakest one, as well, as she says, don't worry about that, sweet. Of course, she almost called him sweetie, but she really did tell him that he needs to be training more. So she ends up, and only, of course, she says, I'll go to UA too. As then that happened, as the caring mother, her, says, where's her son, by the way? And he's, he says, well, I think he got into one of my experiments. And she couldn't believe that someone, or like her own husband, of course she knew that he was lying about, of course, he says, and he's probably floating around in the afterlife. So, yeah. And his two sisters, like her and her, wanted to become pro heroes. They had an awesome quirk. One of them had, or like, she had what Momo had, but she can make it out of thin air. And of course, she becomes all giant, like bigger than Mountain Lady. And so, yeah. So that's why they were. So when he came back, he went from having like green hair to absolute white or silver hair with those eyes. he doesn't have like the whiskers in the front. So he yeah. Ember was basically now became named that because when he went through different portals, he was that. So as he goes to school, or he goes to UA, as little bits of pieces of his memories. As he goes in, and some of them says, well, he's haughty. As, yeah, he basically, sorry, he basically went in as some of them are greeting him like a friends, and as he looks at them, and he doesn't say anything. As that so he says, huh, in his head, they look nice. As they as he did the written part faster than everyone. Like he was done before they even picked up a pencil. As he turned it in, he sat down, away from everybody. Like some of them are like Momo, who is like, this kid's faster than me on writing stuff down. As, yeah. So, in the robot one, Hans, he basically used every tactic that he learned. He used every anime technique to his disposal. As Ember has the same thing. He used his dark skin to create weapon that was this long angled sword. As he says, 1,000 divines cuts. As he cuts every 1-pointers, 2-pointers, 3-pointers. And he learned how the skeleton from One Piece did in 2. As some of them are a little bit startled of a kid that knows martial arts. Faster than speeding bullet. And he had no fear or anything. As a 0 pointer came, he absolute smiles at that. As he put the blade down, and as his entire arm, like literally his entire arm, trying to zoom in, but his left side became so like dark. He became like he used that devil fruit where white beard or white mustache guy from One Piece used. As when he did that, it broke the 0 pointer to pieces. Cut my life into pieces. Sorry, I just had that song playing earlier. So, yeah. So now, so they're like shocked of how destructive Zuko or this kid's power, as even heck, All Might is like, hey, how does he know all these training things? Like he dodges and like as they're like, hey, some of them are like a little bit startled because how powerful he is. As he turns around, as he puts his blade away before, as yeah, the robots are randomly exploded before, and he puts his power back to normal. Even when Bunny Girl saw his power, she wanted him to be with her. As she tells she tells Nezu that as Nezu says, well, he will be in class 1A. Plus, we don't even know what his powers are or his quirks. He has probably multiple quirks. As his both sisters saw how destructive the powers are, but they don't know that he's their brother. So yeah. So yeah. Toga is like, she still misses her friend that she has a big crush on. Because when they were just like 5 years old, Toga really did care about him, but something bad happened to him. So as he has this aura, only person that picks it up was actually Nezu. As as Nezu invites Ember in. Sorry. Ember in, as he just wanted to talk. So he says, huh, as he tilts his head, as he nods, okay. As he's so Ember, her. You're in class 1A, but your aura seems kinda weird. Like, what's as he looks at his hand, and then he spoke. I do not remember. His feeling before. As his arm turned to black skin again, and then back to human skin, as Nezu is like asking about, he has some like suspicion, but and yeah, so I'm skipping the ball throw. Oh, and the heroes versus villains. So, as they were like blown away by how destructive his powers are, and his body, by the way, he looked just like this one, but way more. Because he, like, when he fell into that puddle, couple days, or to his mind, feels like a couple days, or a couple years, that he actually accessed a full multiverse. Like, universe, multiverse, everything. As, yeah, Zuko wasn't, or no, Ember was basically more powerful than anyone, more intelligent. Sorry, I burped. Everything. So, as now we'll get back to the story. Sorry, I just wanted to clarify that up for you. So Nezu says, "What's your name, by the way?" As Amber says, "Well, I never heard of that, or never had that happen. Someone asked me for my name. I'm the man with many names." But the in this universe, call me Amber. Her. As Nezu, no, right then and there, her. Good to have you, Amber. As after Amber leaves, he went on to his computer or tablet and looked up the file of Amber. Amber was dead. And as he thinks, as All Might says, "Oh, you're in deep thought again. What's going on?" "Oh, it's this boy, that he named himself after the death of one student, or one." As he did say he had many names, but as he, and now the USJ thing, as students wanted to ask what his name was. Call me Ember. I have many names, but mostly call me Amber. As the, of course, his two sisters were noticed when he said Ember, it's their brother's name. As they said, "Why are you using our brother's name?" As he tilts his head huh. As he literally is trying to remember. As his 5-year-old self, whose voice talked through him, or talked around him, around them, as he says, "Little sister, or sister, are you there?" As she says, "Brother, are you okay?" Or actually, scratch it. So they called him Ember, like a wood thing. So they went to USJ, Class A and Class B. As they go to, so Toga was trigger happy, because she's cured from, permanently cured from that fit, so she acts like that on a daily basis. So yeah. So when they got to USJ, they got introduced thing. And then villains came out of nowhere, and they started attacking. As Zuko, or no, as Ember says, huh, I'll take care of these. And before they attacked and before they got ambushed, he says, huh, well, have fun. As when the Mr. Ozawa and Blood Hero got knocked out but not killed, as the Nomu came in, instead of hitting the both of them, of course, Ember got hit in the head, and as his memories came back, as his he was basically, as he says, huh, I'm back. As he goes, and he defeats the Nomu, who, with so many power moves, he actually took care of all the villains and the Nomu all at once. He kinks his neck and he says, huh, that multiverse travel really gave me a losing my mind, or breaking my mind real fast. As he was still in control. So yeah, he basically, he didn't tell them, but he thought about it. So I'm skipping the sports festival, the mall arc, and the camp arc. So yeah, and he does meet Hero Killer Stain before and during the internship thing. And he ends up pummeling Hero Killer Stain, as he says, huh. And yeah, so they were basically trying to learn more and more about him. As then during the camp arc thing, one of the wildcats tried to go into his mind, as they see the entire multiverse of different versions of himself. He has a name of she sees that that boy's mind is jogging, maybe. And one day, or before another ambush thing, or before a sneak attack thing, she decides to ask him about what happened. As he says, well, it's simple. But the ember is actually, or of course, everyone was dead asleep except for that pussycat. So he tells her that or actually, she tells him to walk with him in the forest thing, as she tells him what is going on with your, because I tried to go into your head earlier. As he says, well, trying to puzzle that stuff out for myself too. As they, or he, or he, she's trying to, like, so, wait, what do you mean? I only have, or of course, he says this, I only have fuzzy memories of my past life. I remember as his 5-year-old self, as he says, that wasn't pleasant for me. And let me, before, after he, transformed, his father went to, like, jail thing, or not jail, but he didn't lose a company. So, yeah, and they don't, so, yeah, they went to jail so that too, until he's cleared of, so, yeah. So, he says that, so, she says, well, was your past like? Well, let's say I remember 5 years old. I recall me trying to have my own father play ball with me. Yeah. Yeah. As he actually says that I was 5 years old, but my father didn't want to play with me, so I went with him to see what he was doing, and then I asked, and then he actually, I don't remember if I fell in or he pushed me in. As the pussycat looks at him, like, and says, is he a one that's in custody for, like, killing this kid? Oh, as he looks at her, like, one more time, as he says, huh. as he says, well, is that kid 5 years old? I remember me having, as he like used his hair, as he says, did he have green hair? Like all green? As he says yes. And like little outfit, like a cowboy one or a country boy. Yes. That kid, and was he 5 years old? Yes. That kid was actually me. As Pussycat says, wait, so that kid is Ember. Wait, so you're Amber. I am that kid. And as she couldn't believe that the 5-year-old kid turned into this hulkingish man, and as so Zuko there, so they were like, okay. And so now the travel thing. So, and how do you remember that kid? Or what happened to you, by the way? I'm still trying to figure that out. Because after my mother pushed me into that black goo substance, then I don't remember after that. It's all blurry. As he's trying to remember, as he couldn't remember, so he's tearing up and banging on his head. As she's like calming him down, like, calm down. As, yeah, so then the next day, so now the heroes, All Might versus All for One fight thing. And, yeah, so All Might was down but not out. As All for One, he has seen the USJ fight thing of a certain kid. As he says, your student, Ember, has came back to the, or the student is way too powerful. As now you have to die. As his arm transformed into a laser gun thing. And as he says, is this the same gun or the same technique that you used on the Master and every other pro hero? Yes, to eradicate them. And when he used it, and on All Might, it didn't go through. It stopped. He stand right in the middle of, he absorbed that attack. Or he took that attack like a champ. As he says, as he tells him that you are such a clam, aren't you? Always trying to bite at the others. As Ember was being this, like, as he turns his eyes, as he says, "Don't worry, I'll take care of all for one." As they agree, just get some shut eye, okay? As All Might says, there's people around, you know. As he turns and looks at All for One again, as he says, "Huh." As All for One says, "You must be Amber. What happened?" Or, like, some of them are like asking, "What happened? How did he go so fast?" As as he says, "Huh. Well, as Amber, or as All for One says, huh, you're," or Ember says that you're the dead guy. As Zuko, or as Ember says, "Huh," or All for One says, "Yeah, but now you're double dead." As he says this, as the portal opens up, revealing or actually his entire body, or he actually says, "I am Ember." As his body went full on, like, changed into him, as he says, "You are you're so, like, annoying." As he used his power, and yeah, he learned every technique. And yeah, All for One did die from that. As All for One asks, "What is this power?" As All for One asks Ember, as Ember's, or All for One says this, "Were you born with it?" As he turns and looks at him and says, "No. That 5-year-old kid that everyone says that he got killed by his father, or, like, basically, like, drowning him, was in the," as he remembers, as everyone is shocked when, as he says, "I am back." As he couldn't believe, or they couldn't believe, that his he's back. And some of you are probably confused about it. Let me show you. As he uses his power, or he converted from this to being back to his like green-haired form. That he looks just like that, so I'm using it. So, but he still had like the green eyes thing, as they all know know that he's they couldn't believe that he's back from the dead. As as even All Might is shocked that how does this kid have this much power? And he transforms back into his, or turn into back to his adult thing. And his own sisters and his mother were tearing up. They couldn't believe that. They couldn't believe that he's back from the dead. So, yeah. As they're like, and then after that, the next day, his two sisters run up to him, gave him a hug, and they couldn't believe that he's back for reals. And, yeah. As he says, yeah, it's been a long time since seen you, sisters. Okay? And some of them are like, and couldn't believe that he's back from the dead. And yeah. So, and so his own mother shows up, and they couldn't believe, or she actually, of course, she was so like worried about her son, so she actually went and thing is, he told them, as he was a little bit like twice as size as his own sister, or both sisters. As Toga, that red-haired girl, went in and gave him such a hug that now as it was so interesting, as she actually tells him that, where have you been all this time? Lot to think about. As Zuko, or not, yeah. So everyone couldn't believe. They're still in shock by how he is. So, yeah. And thank goodness I'm skipping the part, or the overhaul fight. So, peace out. And please leave a like, share, subscribe.